Hello, everyone, and welcome to another insightful episode of Fueling Growth Marketing for Auto Repair Shops. I'm your host, Zane Taylor. Today, we have a special episode that focuses on a crucial strategy that any auto repair shop owner should consider: customer education. We're lucky to have Roger Glass with us to dive into this topic and discuss how workshops and tutorials can significantly enhance trust and loyalty with your customers. Roger, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Zane. I'm really excited to be here. Customer education is a game changer for auto repair shops. When customers understand what's happening with their vehicles, it helps demystify the repair process. They are less likely to feel they're being taken advantage of, and more likely to see your shop as a partner in keeping their car running smoothly.
Absolutely. And it's so important to get past that skepticism that can sometimes surround auto repair services. By educating customers, we position shops not just as service providers, but as trusted advisors. When a customer walks in and feels like they can ask questions and get clear, understandable answers, it makes all the difference. Let's talk about the types of educational initiatives that can be most effective. What are your thoughts?
There are several approaches, but workshops and tutorials stand out as particularly effective. Workshops are great because they offer hands-on experiences, allowing customers to see firsthand what goes into maintaining their own vehicles. It can be as simple as a basic oil change workshop or something more detailed like understanding engine diagnostics. Tutorials, whether online or in person, provide a more flexible learning experience. They can be accessed at the customer's convenience and revisited as often as needed.
That's a great point about flexibility. Online tutorials in particular have become increasingly popular because they allow customers to learn at their own pace. Plus, they position your shop as a knowledgeable resource in the community. One thing we often see is shops worrying about giving away too much secret sauce. Would you say it's a concern or an unfounded fear?
I'd say it's largely unfounded. Sharing knowledge typically brings customers closer to your shop as they learn to appreciate the complexity and skill involved in repairs. When you empower them with information, they're often more appreciative and trusting. It actually reduces skepticism and increases loyalty because customers feel they understand value. Most people are looking for reassurance and confidence in their repair decisions.
Exactly. It's about creating a narrative of transparency and openness, which only strengthens the relationship with the customer. Now, identifying topics that resonate with your customer base is a critical step in making these workshops and tutorials successful. What approach would you recommend for pinpointing these topics?
One of the best approaches is simply to listen and observe. Pay attention to the common questions customers ask when they visit your shop. Are there particular repairs or maintenance tasks that consistently cause confusion or worry? These are great starting points for developing educational content. Surveys can also help gather direct feedback on what topics customers are interested in. Additionally, seasonal topics can be an effective way to address timely needs, like winterizing a vehicle or preparing for a summer road trip.
Surveys are such a straightforward yet underutilized tool. They not only provide valuable insights, but also engage customers, making them feel more involved in the services they receive. Once you have your topics, promoting these educational events is the next step. What effective strategies can shop owners use to ensure a good turnout?
Promotion is key. Utilizing your existing communication channels is a great start. Email newsletters, social media, and even in-shop posters can spread the word. Partnering with local businesses or community groups can expand your reach and lend credibility to your event. Offering incentives like a discount on future services for attendees can also drive interest and participation. Additionally, consider cross-promoting with any other local events or through participation in community festivals.
Great suggestions. Leveraging your network can indeed amplify the reach of these events. Next, let's delve into the actual creation of tutorials. What would you say are some key components to keep in mind to ensure these tutorials are impactful both online and offline?
Firstly, clarity is crucial. The information should be straightforward and in language accessible to non-professionals, avoiding industry jargon that might confuse the audience. Incorporating visuals, such as diagrams or video walkthroughs, enhances understanding. Also, structure the tutorials logically. Start with basic concepts before moving on to more advanced details. Lastly, always conclude with a summary or call to action, CTA, encouraging customers to follow up with any additional questions they may have in person or through other channels.
Absolutely, pacing and visuals can make all the difference in maintaining engagement. And speaking of engagement, workshops can be another beast entirely since they require real-time interaction. What tips do you have for engaging customers during workshops to maximize their learning?
Engagement is indeed crucial. Start by creating a welcoming and open environment. Encourage questions and invite attendees to share their experiences. Hands-on activities that allow participants to actively take part in the process will improve retention. Also, consider starting the workshop with an icebreaker to reduce anxiety. It's important to maintain a dynamic and energetic delivery to keep attendees' attention, and don't forget to provide materials or references they can take home.
Hands-on activities are such a great way to cement learning. And with active participation, not only are customers learning, but they're also forming a stronger connection with the shop. Now, measuring the success of educational programs can be a bit tricky. What metrics should shop owners look for when assessing the impact of these initiatives?
We're talking about intangibles like trust and loyalty, which can be hard to measure directly. However, you can look at increased customer engagement through follow-up appointments post-workshop, the number of referrals, and social media interactions such as shares and likes. Surveys post-event can also gauge customer satisfaction and perceived value. Over time, a reduction in customer complaints or confusion regarding common services can be a strong indicator of success.
I'm glad you mentioned surveys again. They're such a versatile tool for both feedback and future planning. Real-world examples can be powerful motivators, showing shop owners that these strategies genuinely work. Could you share any case studies or examples of shops that have implemented customer education with success?
Certainly. One example is a small family-owned shop that started weekend workshops on understanding your car basics. They saw a notable increase in customer loyalty, with attendees returning consistently for both minor and major repairs. This shop also reported a spike in referrals, as customers began recommending them as the go-to garage for transparency and honesty. Another case is a medium-sized shop that launched an online series of maintenance tutorials, which quickly became a local hit, driving not just local traffic but a broader audience interested in reliable car maintenance advice.
Success stories like those really illustrate the tangible benefits. They show how education can transform a shop's role from just being transactional to relational. To close, what would you say to shop owners who are considering diving into customer education but are hesitant?
I'd say embrace the opportunity to transform your business into a community cornerstone. By providing customer education, you're not just enhancing the value of your services, but building lifelong relationships. It's a strategic investment in your shop's reputation that pays dividends in trust and customer loyalty. Remember, people buy from those they trust, and education bridges any gaps in understanding that might have previously stood in the way.
Thank you, Roger, for sharing your insights today. It's been a wonderful conversation, shedding light on a strategy that can truly set auto repair shops apart. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to today's episode of Fueling Growth Marketing for Auto Repair Shops. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe and share this podcast with other shop owners who could benefit from these strategies. Until next time, continue to fuel growth in your business.